For decades, Earth had remained patient. Humanity had joined the Galactic Council with humble expectations, offering cooperation and curiosity rather than dominance. They had arrived late to the interstellar stage, their ships small and their technology primitive compared to ancient civilizations that had already mapped thousands of stars. Yet despite their youth, the humans carried something unseen in any other species, an unyielding sense of dignity. At first, the Council regarded them as amusing newcomers. They laughed at the crude design of human vessels, called their languages harsh and their biology inefficient. Even so, humanity kept showing up to every meeting. They offered medical advances, terraforming techniques, and scientific ideas that puzzled the elder races. Still, the ridicule continued. Patience became Earth's policy. Their ambassadors smiled through insults. Their engineers accepted restrictions that others ignored. Humanity built colonies on barren moons no one wanted, working tirelessly to prove their worth through actions rather than pride. For years, that approach seemed to work. Trade grew. Cultural exchange flourished. Then came the insults that crossed a line. The turning point arrived during the Council's annual assembly on Varel Prime, a world of silver towers and glowing seas. Representatives from over 300 civilizations filled the chamber. Humanity's ambassador, a calm man named Daniel, stood at his usual position along the outer ring. He waited for his turn to speak about a proposal to aid frontier colonies suffering from food shortages. But before he could begin, the delegate from the Quoro Dominion interrupted him. Perhaps the humans should learn to feed their own kind before pretending to feed others, the Quoro sneered. Laughter rippled through the hall. Daniel's jaw tightened, but he continued, presenting data on sustainable crops and efficient water systems. The Council ignored him. When he finished, the chairperson dismissed the proposal as idealistic nonsense from a primitive species still playing with hydroponics. That day, Earth's patience began to erode. The following month saw a pattern. Human ships were denied trade routes. Their scientists were refused access to research stations. Even humanitarian convoys carrying medicine to war-torn systems were detained under security inspections. When human representatives protested, they were told to know their place. Then came the insult that broke everything. A council broadcast leaked to the public, an unedited recording from a closed session. In it, several senior members mocked humanity outright. One delegate called them useful pets. Another laughed and said, "They are like children pretending to be galactic adults." The recording spread across every human colony within hours. At first, disbelief. Then anger. Finally, silence. Across Earth and her colonies, production slowed. Communications with the Council grew cold. The Terran fleet, once scattered among various sectors for trade escort, quietly regrouped. The Council noticed but dismissed it as emotional reaction. They had underestimated humanity many times before. A month later, when the Council called for another meeting, no human representative arrived. The chairperson ordered a communication link opened. The reply came from the United Terran Command. "This is Earth. The Council's words have been received. Until respect is restored, humanity will not participate in any joint activity. We will withdraw from all Council projects." The chamber erupted in laughter again. A few voices mocked the statement, calling it the tantrum of an infant species. They did not realize that humanity had already begun to prepare for something far greater than withdrawal. For decades, humans had studied the galaxy with quiet eyes. They had learned not just technology but behavior. They saw how older species relied on bureaucracy and treaties to maintain their fragile balance. They saw how few of them truly remembered how to fight, how to rebuild, or how to endure without luxury. Humanity remembered all those things. On the outskirts of known space beyond the Council's patrols, the Terran fleet tested new engines and weapons of their own design. Their engineers combined alien science with human innovation, creating systems no other species dared to attempt. The Council had forbidden humans from experimenting with high-density reactors, claiming they were unstable. Humanity made them stable. The Council banned self-learning combat algorithms. Humanity built them anyway. Within a single year, the Terran Navy became something the galaxy had never seen, a silent storm. The Council first noticed when one of their patrol fleets vanished near the rim. The last transmission showed a dozen unknown ships appearing out of distortion fields. surrounding them without firing a shot. Then nothing. Days later, the same pattern repeated near another system. The council called for explanations, demanding to know who was responsible. No one claimed the attacks, until a message arrived at the central hall of the Galactic Council. It came from Earth. The message contained only 5 words. "Your insults have been noted." The room went silent. Suddenly, every council ship began detecting encrypted transmissions spreading through their networks, data packets that carried human coding patterns. Within minutes, communication grids failed. Defense networks shut down one by one. Entire star systems found their long-range sensors blinded. Humanity had unleashed a cyber strike of unmatched precision. No explosions, no declarations, only silence across the void. The council panicked. Emergency meetings were called. Accusations flew between member worlds. Some demanded immediate military action against Earth. Others urged negotiation. Yet before they could decide, a fleet of human ships appeared at the edge of Council territory. The ships were not large by appearance, but every one of them radiated controlled power. The lead vessel transmitted a message directly to the Council headquarters. "This is the United Terran Fleet. We will speak once." Inside the chamber, the Council gathered in uneasy quiet as the holographic image of Admiral Reyna appeared. Her expression was calm, but her voice carried a weight that silenced even the proudest delegates. "For years, Earth endured your mockery. We sought peace, cooperation, and equality. You answered with insult. We asked for dialogue. You responded with dismissal. You called us children. Now the children have grown." Her eyes swept the chamber. "We will not destroy you. We will not conquer you. But we will remind you that respect is not given. It is earned. You will cease interference with human operations. You will apologize for your treatment of our people, and you will understand that Earth's patience has limits." The council leader, shaking, tried to reply. "You threaten the balance of the galaxy. You cannot stand against all of us." Reyna's expression did not change. "Then test that belief. Our fleets are already positioned beyond your border worlds. Every orbital defense you own is within range of our systems. We do not seek war. But if one begins, it will end quickly." She ended the transmission. For a long moment, the chamber remained in stunned silence. Then the whispers began. No one wanted to admit fear, but every delegate knew it. The humans had become something dangerous. The Council's military command attempted to mobilize a joint fleet. But when their ships tried to form up, they found their navigation arrays still offline from the cyber attack. Supply lines were disrupted. Communication between sectors collapsed. In less than a week, the mighty Council Navy was blind, deaf, and paralyzed. Meanwhile, humanity did nothing. They did not invade. They did not issue new demands. They simply waited. The message was clear. Earth did not need to shout to be heard anymore. On colony worlds across the galaxy, non-human citizens began to question their leaders. Many had traded with humans, learned from them, and even befriended them. They saw the unfair treatment Earth had endured. When the truth spread, sympathy grew. For the first time in centuries, the Council's authority began to crack from within. A week later, the Council transmitted an official apology. It was brief, formal, and begrudging. Yet humanity accepted it. The Terran fleet withdrew beyond the border, leaving behind no wreckage, no scars, only the memory of what they could have done. But the galaxy remembered. Months passed. Trade resumed, slower but steadier than before. The Council tried to restore its dignity, but whispers haunted every meeting. Delegates lowered their tone when humans entered the room. No one dared to mock their primitive ways again. The youngest civilizations now looked to Earth not as an inferior member, but as an example of resilience. Even among humans, debate raged about whether they had gone too far. Some argued that Earth should have struck harder. Others believed restraint showed true strength. The common sentiment, however, was clear. Never again would humanity bow their heads in the presence of arrogance. Years later, historians across the stars would call it the Silent Uprising. There had been no battles, no invasions, no glorious victories, only precision, patience, and the moment the galaxy realized that humans were not to be underestimated, the Council eventually invited humanity back into full partnership. When the new ambassador arrived, the same chamber that once echoed with laughter now fell silent in respect. He carried no weapon, no guards, just a simple emblem of Earth on his chest. He stepped forward and addressed the assembly. "Earth holds no grudge. We only remember. Let us build a galaxy where patience is valued and respect is mutual. We offer cooperation once more. But understand, mockery has a cost. No one spoke against him. The delegates approved the motion unanimously. Humanity was reinstated.